step into the heart of the Roman Empire. To the year 120 AD. Imagine the colossal form of the Colosseum, a mountain of stone and marble rising against the azure sky of Rome. Its 80 archways are like gaping mouths, swallowing a torrent of 50,000 souls, a river of humanity flowing into its vast, elliptical maw. The air itself hums, thick with anticipation and the scent of sun-baked dust, wine, and roasted meats sold in the bustling arcades below. Senators in their brilliant white togas, patrician ladies veiled in fine silks, and the common plebs in their simple tunics, all converge for one purpose: the spectacle, the games. This isn't just entertainment. It's the pulse of Rome itself. It is politics, power, and piety, all rolled into one bloody pageant. The emperor sits enthroned in the imperial box. His presence, a divine decree. A gesture from his hand can seal a man's fate, his favor more valuable than gold. Today, the sand of the arena floor, raked and pristine, awaits its crimson baptism. It is a sacred stage, a place where mortals can touch the gods, where life and death dance a terrible, beautiful waltz under the gaze of a ravenous city. This is the arena of fire. From the dark, damp bowels of the Colosseum, from a tunnel known as the Gate of Death, a figure emerges. He is not a hero of myth or a general of legions. He is a gladiator. His name is Cassius. Once a free farmer from the green hills of Gaul, his life was shattered by the ever-expanding reach of the empire. His village burned, his family lost. He was sold into slavery and trained in the brutal arts of the ludus at the gladiator school. Every scar on his body tells a story: a near miss from a Thracian's curved blade, a gash from a Myrmilo's net, a burn from a staged fire spectacle. His body is a canvas of survival, honed by relentless training in the forge of combat. He wears the simple armor of a Myrmilo, a large, oblong shield, the scutum, a helmet with a fish-like crest that obscures his face, and a gladius, the short, deadly sword of Rome, held firmly in his calloused hand. As he steps into the blinding light, the roar of the crowd crashes over him like a physical wave. It's a sound that can break a man's spirit or forge it into steel. For Cassius, it has become the soundtrack to his existence, a constant reminder of what he is. A condemned man, granted a fleeting chance to live by pleasing the mob. His opponent is already waiting. A towering figure, a secutor named Drusus, built like an ox and famed for his relentless aggression. The crowd roars his name. Drusus is a favorite, a champion with dozens of victories. He represents the brute force of the arena, the embodiment of its raw, unforgiving nature. For him, this is sport. For Cassius, this is everything. He isn't fighting for glory or for the adulation of the crowd. He's fighting for a memory, the image of his wife's smile, the feel of his daughter's hand in his... He fights for the ghost of a life that was stolen from him. The editor of the games, the magistrate presiding, stands. A trumpet blast cuts through the din, signaling the start of the match. Silence, heavy and absolute, descends upon the arena. 50,000 people hold their breath in unison. The sun is a merciless eye in the sky, casting long, distorted shadows that writhe on the sand. Dust motes dance in the golden shafts of light, creating a hazy, dreamlike atmosphere. It's as if the world has stopped, holding its breath for this single, pivotal moment. Cassius raises his gladius in a silent salute, not to the emperor, but to the memory of his past. He can feel the heat radiating from the sand through the soles of his sandals. He can taste the grit in the air. His gaze locks with Drusus across the expanse of blood-soaked earth. In the polished bronze of his opponent's helmet, he sees a distorted reflection of himself, a faceless warrior, a pawn in a game of gods and men. The trumpet sounds again. The spell is broken. Drusus lets out a guttural roar and charges, his shield raised like a battering ram. The clash of bronze on wood echoes like thunder. The fight begins. It's a blur of motion, a symphony of violence, the scrape of sandals on sand, the clang of sword against shield, the grunts of exertion. Cassius is the more agile fighter, a dancer avoiding the bull. He uses his scutum, not just for defense, but as a weapon, ramming its edge into Drusus, trying to create an opening. Drusus is all power, his blows raining down, each one capable of shattering bone. The crowd sways with the rhythm of the combat. They roar with every blow landed, gasp at every near miss. They are a single entity, a beast with 50,000 mouths, feeding on the spectacle. They don't see Cassius the farmer, or Drusus the man. They see archetypes, symbols of courage and strength, their personal struggles and tragedies rendered invisible by the grandeur of the show. Cassius feels a searing pain as Drusus's sword finds a gap in his defense, slicing across his arm. Blood, shockingly red, wells up and drips onto the pale sand. The crowd loves it. They are on their feet, screaming for a conclusion. The smell of blood, metallic and sharp, now mingles with the dust. But the pain sharpens Cassius's focus. It burns away the noise, the heat, the fear. All that remains is the fight. All that remains is survival. He sees an opening. Drusus, overconfident from drawing first blood, lunges with a clumsy thrust. It's the mistake Cassius has been waiting for. In a fluid motion, he pivots, deflecting the blade with his shield and driving the pommel of his own gladius into the side of Drusus' helmet. The secutor stumbles, disoriented. Before he can recover, Cassius is on him. It's not a move of elegant swordsmanship. It's the desperate, brutal efficiency of a man who refuses to die. He drives his shield into Drusus's chest, forcing him to the ground. The giant falls with a crash that seems to shake the arena. Silence returns. Drusus lies on the sand, his sword just out of reach. Cassius stands over him, his chest heaving, his own blood dripping onto his fallen foe. He raises his gladius, the tip pointed at Drusus's throat. This is the moment of decision. The crowd waits. The Emperor waits. The entire world seems to hold its breath. The crowd begins to stir. Some call for the kill, their thumbs turned down. Others, respecting the champion's fall, wave their handkerchiefs, pleading for mercy. Cassius looks not at the crowd, but at the Emperor. The Emperor, a distant figure in purple, leans forward, his face an unreadable mask. He looks at Cassius, then at the fallen Drusus. Then, slowly, deliberately, he gives the signal. Thumbs up. Mercy. Cassius lowers his sword. The crowd erupts, a wave of cheers and applause. Not for the kill they were denied, but for the drama they witnessed. Elias Bared, a champion defeated, a new hero born from the dust. Cassius has won. He has earned another day of life. As attendants rush in to tend to Drusus, Cassius stands alone in the center of the arena, scarred, bleeding and utterly exhausted, but he is unbroken. He raises his gladius to the sky, a symbol of his defiance against the fate that was written for him. The roar of the crowd fades into a dull hum in his ears. In that moment of silent victory, under the scorching sun, amidst the blood and the sand, he is not a slave. He is a survivor. He is alive. This was the reality of the Gladiator. Life lived on the edge of a blade, where every sunrise was a gift and every victory was just a postponement of the inevitable. Thank you so much for journeying back in time with us. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of ancient Rome, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next story. See you in the arena.